Good evening, everyone. So I'm looking around, I see actually a lot of faces I don't recognize. And so for those of you who don't know me, I'm Chris. I grew up with Al. I met him in 7th grade math class. And yeah, it seems to be that's a popular thing with these two. A lot of math. So I have a few things before. I'm going to tell you a story about Al and Addie. But before I get to that, I want to say thank you to both Al and Addie for this opportunity just for us to be here to celebrate this. To Al's parents for putting this on, as well as Mrs. Bush and all the rest of both of their families for being here, and to all of you for coming out and supporting it. So I'm going to take you back 4 years. It's 2010. We had just graduated from U of I for you guys, and U of I for me too, a different one, but a lot of us out there, I think, had actually graduated around that time, and it was a life-changing year for us. We had to enter a job market that was not good. We had girlfriends to worry about that, what are we going to do with them because we're moving out of our schools, right? And I happened to be out with Al. It was probably, I don't know, about a month after graduation, so sometime early in June. It might have been 4 years ago to the day, for all I know. We were out with a bunch of high school guys, actually back in that left corner, I see a few of them, and Al came to me, we were talking one-on-one, and he told me that he got a job out here in Phoenix. He told me that he was accepting it, that he was going to move away. So for me, it was kind of tough. I was really happy for him, proud of him, everything, but at the same time, it was his way of saying 60 days, we've got about 60 days, August 1st, I'm moving out there. Dealt with that, and then the next thing that immediately popped into my head was, what about Addie? What about Addie, right? They had been dating at that point, I want to say, just over a year. You'd known each other for longer, but it was pretty serious. I had never actually heard of Al talk about a girl before Addie, so I knew it was serious because of that. Sorry, bud. But I knew that there was something that would happen there because of that special connection that they had. And let me take you a year forward. So let's say it's probably Memorial Day of 2011. I had the pleasure of Al coming into town. He was on a career fair, I think, or something to that effect, and he happened to be in town. We went out, and it was a bar crawl, so there was a lot of people out. It was kind of a reunion. We had a ton of people from U of I come out, so I didn't really get a ton of time to talk to him, which I kind of was bummed about, but Al being Al, got lucky enough, he left his sweatshirt at the bar that we had just been at. So I got the pleasure of taking a cab back with him for that. And I was lucky because it was a one-on-one opportunity to talk to him. I had at that point heard that Addie was going to be following Al out to Phoenix. I had heard that Addie got a job teaching. I had heard that they were maybe even considering moving in together. And all of that had happened, and I had this opportunity to talk to him one-on-one and look him in the eyes and actually ask him, how's it going? Something that you can say through a text, you can say through a phone or Facebook, whatever. But I'm looking him in the eyes and I actually get the response, the body language, and he said it's going amazing, it's going perfect. And I knew at that point that his life had really cemented itself, the puzzle pieces had come into place. So I asked him another question. I said, when's the wedding? I started talking to him about Addie and got to the point where I said, when's the wedding? He didn't know. He said, we're going to move in together, we want to get a dog, all the things that they've done. nothing shocking, right? But here we are. And I go back to that day because I knew, knowing Al since 7th grade, I've known him really well. And he's never been one for vulnerability, and Addie gave him that side. She brought it out of him. So I'd like to make a toast to them. Before I do that, I want to ask a favor to everyone, and that's that we have a great time tonight because we're celebrating a phenomenal occasion. I think we can all live into that, and it's and the bartender's over there. The tab is NAVICAS, Navicus. You just go ahead and put it on that tab. I would say you can pay me back, but just pay them back. No, but seriously, let's have a great time. And the toast is pretty simple. It's to lifelong fulfillment and happiness. These two have been doing it for upwards of, well, it's 5 years to yesterday for each other. So why not forever, right? Cheers, everyone. Thank you.